Step inside, traveler, leave the outer rim behind. You've docked in Red 5 Cantina, where the stars all unwind. I'm cool at the helm, pulling up a seat for you. We've got blue milk chilling and a table with a view. From Tatooine suns to the moons of Endor, stories spark like sabers when you walk through this door. Every rebel, smuggler, Jedi, come on in. This is where your Star Wars journey's about to begin. So hang your cloak, set your blaster on stun. In this harvest coming fun, yeah, we're second to none. Grab a drink, take a breath, make a wish when you're ready, cause the jump to light speed's never been this steady. Welcome to Red 5 Cantina, where legends come alive. Across the galaxy, we're keeping that rebel vibe. Pull up a stool, we're about to ignite. Tank fabric, this crew's looking ready tonight. From Lord of Labs, we're your hyperspace guide. At Red 5 Cantina, come enjoy the ride. Come enjoy the ride.
What is up? What is up? I've done my best Jawa impersonation. Hold on. Where's he at? I got my Star Wars PJs on for this year-end edition. I went to work last night at 9 p.m. and I got home today at 3:30 p.m. So forgive me if I'm cranky. Tonight, as you know, is going to be an open mic. I was going to do Discord, but instead of asking people to go sign up and do all this other crap, I'm going to post a link. But before I do, let me pose a few subjects to discuss rather than just be willy-nilly all over the place. Let's have a little order to it, because I'm not going to be going live that often, I don't think, for a while. But when I do, I'd like to have you guys be involved with me. So let's try something a little formatted. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the Mando and Grogu movie because there's been some leaks, there's been some rumors, there's things that we know, there's things we don't know, there's things that you can look online and see cast and crew members and kind of make up your own decisions about things. Look, he's staring, he's watching. And then we want to talk about Darth Maul, the Shadow Lord, a little bit. You know, I'd rather look forward to things that are new and exciting and give us something to look forward to within the lore. So hopefully these are some projects that'll do that for us. And if not, you know, we'll keep watching, we'll keep hoping and see what happens, right? But let me press some buttons here. Where are we at? Hold on a sec. Let me go back. Yes, I am in my jammies, sir. I am not even trying to lie. Gap was here first. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I know you guys were here back on like the 16th. I tried to reschedule this on my mobile app for the software for the streaming app that I use, and it said it did. And I got home and everybody's messaging me saying you're live right now, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But we got it straightened out, reset it for today. You know, over the holidays, family and everything going on. So let's keep going down the list here. Ultra Carterzilla's in the house. What's up, sir? Mr. B, what's up? Mr. B, appreciate you. Got the Spice Runners Lounge in the house. What's up, Evan? Keep going down the list. Oh, Utini Justin is here. What's up, sir? He keeps buying more lasers than a laser factory. He can't stop himself. He is YOLO to the max. The laser kid and the 3D printer kid. What do you got? 5 of them now? You up to 5 of them? Going down the list here. All right, and before we continue, let's give Carter his moment here. Coming tomorrow, are we doing an action figure surgery New Year's special? We'll post the reels on Wednesday, in which I will be fixing up my elites and making some customs and figure swap parts. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't do the math here. We got to do the math. He says debt to the max. 4 printers technically, but we have 5. You know you're going to use hers too if the project calls for it. You know it. LK. Gap, do you mean lack? Do you mean lack? If you mean lack, I just talked to him yesterday. That's cool. It's cool. Just so I know who we were talking about. Yeah, lack's good. I'm trying to get him to come on here with me at some point. He's just been busy. He's taken a new job, a career. He's doing really well. And they put him on like an evening shift. So he's probably trying to get some sleep right now before he goes in. So that's where he's been. He's been, life does that to you sometimes. I was thinking about it today. This is the end of the year, and I'm looking back on this year in regards to Star Wars, my life, my collecting, how things have kind of fallen apart in some aspects and grown anew in others. That's life, right? It has its ups and downs. And then you think about social media, you think about this stuff, you think about finding common threads with people. And that's really what it's all about for me, is trying to find a common thread with you guys. Star Wars is our common thread. Collecting is our common thread. All those different things that we love, prop building, art, just the whole fantasy of it. It just takes you out of your day to day. And really, if it wasn't for this kind of stuff, this year was a challenging year for me. And I think I would have been in much worse shape than I am now. And I was so numb from other events in the early part of the year that when I lost my channel and all that stuff, it just almost didn't matter, because I had all these real life things going on. And I got a lot of friends out there in the community, and there's a lot of people that I've met along the way that already knew each other or know each other personally, and I'm not sort of in that circle very often or very deep. And so if there's falling outs and different things that go on, it's life. And I really hate to see it. I love when everybody has just peace and harmony in Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? But the year started out totally on a really, really rocky note. The first weekend, then we bounced around through into the spring. We got to do May the 4th for the first time in Florida. I got to meet Eben. I got to meet Wayne. I got to meet Mad Monkey Props. He had the Chewbacca head walking around. I got to meet Kaz. Trent was there. We were messaging frantically back and forth and kept missing each other, but we'll figure it out. I got to meet Star Wars Gent and some great Pete, OB Pete, some great people, George from Hyperdrive, and made a real connection there. You know what I mean? So it solidified friendships and relationships and made all of this worth doing. And it's like our hangout, right? So it's our therapy and everything. I mean, hopefully I won't get zapped for having that back there. But as Eben knows, in 2006, Walmart, of all places, had a special edition DVD version of A New Hope that was the original version, uncut. And that is it. I just got it in the mail. That is it. And Eben got one from Santa Claus this year. Santa Brett. Jose is here. Bienvenidos, mi amigo. What's up, buddy? So it's my year-end special. I hadn't done a stream in a while. I wasn't really sure coming back in so late in the year what I was gonna do because, right around the holidays. I think going forward, I'm definitely going to tell myself to just take it easy, calm down, not worry about, being on or having something going if I don't have it ready just because I think people are gonna miss me or something. It's like, I'm not Walter Cronkite, I'm not the nightly news. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think when there's big events and moments, we can come together, and I would like it to be like a shared experience. So we're gonna try a little bit of that tonight and see how it goes and see where it goes. And then because I'm not monetized anymore, nowhere near it, I am gonna put together more things for us to do, more activities to do on Discord. So, like here, I'd be like once or twice a month in this sort of perspective, and then a couple times a month on Discord where we can watch movies together, like late Friday night after SRL, late Saturday night, grab some popcorn, jump in the chat, start talking, throw the movie on, watch the actual movie. We watched episode 3 last year and we had like 5 or 6 of us in there and it was awesome. We could talk about our favorite scenes, talk about parts of the story, the lore, the characters, all of those different little details that we don't always get a chance to dig into. So, um, if you're looking for copies, I need to find my copies of these. General Kenobi, yeah. I didn't even know they existed until Joel was telling us. So, uh, I got on eBay that night and found a bunch of them, started buying them up. Yeah, so between like $6 a piece and like $40 for the set, $24 for the set, something like that. That's letterbox. I'd like to get the or widescreen. I'd like to get the full screen as well. I like full screen. Makes me feel like the TV I paid for is worth it, right? But anyway, that's my rant. You know, it's a year like any other, I guess. It just had its moments. It totally sucked, and then it had some really good moments too. One other thing I'd like to mention too, like when I was looking at getting into content creating on YouTube, my kids would always watch YouTube. I didn't even have an account. I would just get on YouTube, search for stuff, watch stuff, a funny video, some news clip that got turned into a song, the Paul brothers, all that different stuff. And I came across a guy who was living in a van, going across the country, doing drone footage, doing different things, going to movie sets, going to sites from scenes in movies, going all over the place, and I felt a connection to him because I played music when I was younger in bands and traveled around a little bit in the Midwest doing stuff, and this guy traveled in bands and all this stuff, and, he became Adam the Woo, and, early on, I watched him go from this guy in the van where people were just contributing to his Patreon to give him gas money to get him to the next stop into basically, that sort of YouTube dream that a lot of us have where it's your living, and I think he was able to do that. And I think he moved from California to Florida. He had a place in both for a while. Then he moved to Florida full time and never gave it a second thought. And I was walking around on May the 4th, and we had the virtual queue for the um, mouse droid. And I went to get in line for my mouse droid. And my wife, she's not a Star Wars fan. She's only ever watched A New Hope barely, as she played with her phone, but she loves that I love something like this, and she supports it, so I'm really grateful. But when we go on trips and things, especially Disney, she's right there by my side enjoying it with me, and I think she enjoys, I guess, watching me light up and enjoy these things still like a kid, you know what I mean? Because, the greater connection for this wasn't necessarily the toys, it was the movies themselves. So I'm gonna get the mouse droid from the movie. I'm all excited. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She just knows I'm excited and she's standing there with me, and it's just awesome to have, somebody with you doing that. And while I'm in line for the mouse droid, who is literally standing next to me? Adam the Woo. and he had a couple people with him, three or four people with him, and they were talking. So I didn't want to be rude. He turned around and made eye contact. I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he said, "Hey, how's it going?" And I just said, "Love your channel. Watched it for a long time." And he said, "Thank you very much," and that was it. And then I kept bumping into him the whole freaking day, and regardless of his lifestyle, regardless of whatever he's doing, I don't know. I just knew the guy on the videos. You know what I mean? I just knew that was who he portrayed and seemed to be, and I enjoyed it. So I didn't need to get in any deeper than that. So when I met him, in a way, what was I going to do? Ask him, like, what do you really like? It didn't matter. But it was just neat to bump into somebody and just say hi. And he said hi back. And then the next, like, I saw him like 3 times that day, because we're all in this little area near Galaxy's Edge trying to get our mouse droids and stuff. And the next time I see him, I'm in the bathroom and he's in the bathroom. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Kaz, what's up? I was just saying I was happy to meet you this year. And just like he's saying, I've got somebody that's into this stuff with me, even though she, look at all that. And I can tell you, like, so I got the little live sign, like, she got me all of those. She got me all of those. She went to California with her girlfriend. Where am I pointing? I don't know where I'm pointing. Okay, right there. The Mace Windu helmet. She got that for me. She's sending me pictures like, do you want this guy? Do you want this? Helping me with my addiction. So in that regard, it's awesome. And I hope to do it again this coming year, but I think we're going to try to do it. I don't know. I was thinking about California this time, because California does a different show at Galaxy's Edge that they don't do in Florida for whatever reason. And I'd like to experience it. And I haven't yet. I have been to Disneyland in California, and it was before Galaxy's Edge was built there. So then 2 years later, it was completed in Florida. We were there the week it opened, and I've probably been down there 6 or 8 times. So then if you count how many times you actually go visit that part of the park, it's probably been 20 or 30 times. I've walked through there at the very early in the morning opening when it's nice and quiet. I've walked through there at night when there's nobody else around, and just kind of filmed the walkthrough. And it's eerie, but it's so cool. It's so awesome to just be lost in your playground of your, childhood dreams or whatever. So I love stuff like that. And I love that I have somebody that appreciates that I love stuff like that. So I told her the other day, when I'm gone, just sell the stuff. Just look up the guys that I talk to on my Facebook and sell it. Just get rid of it. It's not going to do you any good to hang on to an action figure that's older than dirt, I've been getting into trading cards lately. And I talked to Joey, Padawan Collector. There was one of these that was graded a perfect 10 that sold for over $100,000. So I was talking to him about places to go get it graded. I doubt this is close to perfect though. Yeah! Because one of the edges is a little wrinkled. And it's hard because if you get that graded, I have the whole set. Now what? I got to get the whole set graded? I don't know. But let's she just gave up. Yeah. That's funny. Let me go into the subject here. I'll do like a little presentation of these two things, and then this is kind of what I want to stay on topic with. And I'll throw a link up if somebody wants to jump on with me and discuss it a little bit. By all means, do it. I'll give you, equal time. If 3 or 4 people jump in there, I'll bring one on at a time. You can ask me a question to respond to, or you can give me your feels on things, and then I'll click you out, go to the next person. I don't know how busy it's going to get. So, in all fairness, I can't just let 1 or 2 people, run wild on there. So anyway, let's talk about this. Mandalorian Grogu. I pulled it up here rather than an official site because this is where some of the things get interesting. The Action Joe Figs, what's up? Where people they get a little suspicious about things. Okay, look, it's cool. When I moved it, he's still there. He's watching. Always watching. All right. So down here, I'm going to blow this up. And if you look on the cast list, you've got John Coyne here. See him? And it says Imperial Warlord. So that's something to think about right there. So let me look at some of my notes here. So the Mandalorian and Grogu is scheduled for release in May of 26, directed by Jon Favreau, returning from the Disney Plus series. The primary cast involves Pedro Pascal, Grogu, Sigourney Weaver. She'll be known as Ward. It's a new character, a New Republic figure. Jeremy Allen White will be Rhoda the Hutt, the grown son of Jabba. So then you got to think about where they're going to have a place in all this, right? The setting takes place after the fall of the Empire during the New Republic efforts to stabilize the galaxy. Emphasis is on big screen action, keeping it action-packed. The movie will not include Fennec Shand. It has been confirmed. Interesting. It doesn't say anything about Boba. I'd like to see Boba, but, he's kind of nerfed. It will introduce new villains and antagonists instead of Moff Gideon, who was central in the series. I'd like to see Gideon come back because he did have the armor on, right? So here's some rumored plot details and script leaks. If you don't want to hear it, I apologize in advance, but I like the spoilers and leaks because you can theorize before it comes out and see how close you were with your guesses. I know other people that don't even want to hear a theory. They'll just tune you out. I get it. I can't say that any of this is official anyway. But what I'm going to read here is points based on rumored leaks, synopsis circulating on social media, unverified sources, early synopsis postings. There was some stuff done in Germany that people picked up on. So treat this as rumor. All right. Here it is. That rumor: Imperial remnants have become warlords and threaten galactic peace. Rumor: Din and Grogu are recruited by the New Republic to hunt down these dangerous cells. Rumor: on the planet Karzun, Grogu will find an ancient artifact that will amplify his force powers. Grogu's abilities reportedly become much more potent, and this could be a major turning point in the story and his relationship with Din Djarin. Imperial operatives see Grogu as a threat or a weapon, possibly shifting his role from protected child to active target. A potential plot implication here would be that Grogu may be more central narratively than in the series. His growth in the Force could shape future storytelling arcs. Din and Grogu might even be separated in parts, with installations and missions that split their journeys. Rhoda the Hutt might act as a partner or a companion and possibly overshadow Grogu at times. Grogu's amplified powers could redefine him from a dependent youngster into a key operative, shifting his arc significantly. And some rumors suggest, put on if you don't want to hear this, do some earmuffs. Some rumors suggest the movie may be the final chapter for Din Djarin's arc as a lead and potentially close his standalone journey out. So I could see that. But you know what? Before I go on, please make Grogu taller. You know what I'm saying? Just make him taller. So a leaked script plot point, character and universe impact. Grogu discovers the artifact that boosts his force abilities. Like I said, it could change him from sidekick to a main hero. His mythos it could show us different mythos about the ancient Force and relics and Sith and light side, dark side. The Imperial warlords that persist in this could reframe villain structures, not a single Dark Lord, but fractured remnants with localized power. Different places they go, they got to take out different bad guys. Din and Grogu work directly for the New Republic, which signals a shift from lone mercenary to a galactic agent, whereas a lot of people say, oh, well, now he's a hero. It wouldn't necessarily be an anti-hero. It wouldn't necessarily be a mercenary. It would just be that he chooses a side and a cause. So this all could create, now you have Din, Grogu, Rhoda. It could create ensemble storylines, potentially expanding emotional stakes. There's no confirmation of Moff Gideon's presence, but it opens the space for a new antagonist and fresh narrative twists. So we know there's going to be a big bad in this. It's not going to be the Emperor, but maybe it would be a little connection to the sequels where somebody says, we're looking for these Sith artifacts to bring the Emperor back. Like, just give me a little piece of something that makes some sense there. So here's some other plausible narrative direction that could be taken here. One, it could be seen as a coming of age for Grogu. Din serves as the mentor and father figure while fighting scattered Imperial threats, but this could introduce new Force lore tapping into ancient Jedi or Sith tech, because they're saying this is something that they find or come across that Grogu becomes new. Well, I don't know that the First Order. I guess we'd see where it starts to form at this time period, right? 5 years after Jedi. So you've already seen like the secret councils and stuff. So they might show some of that. Now remember, this is all speculative. There could be a focus on Din's evolution from lone warrior to a noble figure. So maybe he does become full hero. Grogu's growth could test their bond and lead to a dramatic separation or a resolution or an ultimate sacrifice. It could be like we're all watching Stranger Things right now, and people blame each other for stuff, then they're enemies, then they're friends again. If you die, I die. If you die, I die. We're friends to the end, whatever. These are tropes that we see a lot in stories with the buddies, So while official details are limited, many of the leaks are not confirmed by Lucasfilm. So treat them as fan/internet rumor, unless Lucasfilm or vetted outlets verify. Leaks can change frequently. Studios often shift scripts during filming. What's circulating now may not reflect the finished movie. Some rumors, like cancellations of future projects, if this flops, are industry speculation and should not be taken as creative intent. So my theory on the whole thing is it could be just a wild, fun, adventurous romp with the two of them, but you're giving us stuff like Rhoda, Jabba's son. You've already seen the Razor Crest in there again, right there. And how did they get it? Just show me, just do me one favor in this, just for like 2 minutes of this 2.5 hour film, whatever it is. Have him come across it in a hangar and it needs an engine or something, and he finds this is the way, guys, to come fix it, and he steals it, and then Sigourney Weaver's character comes and says, you stole our ship, you owe us, so you got to go do this job. And during that job and that mission, they come across this ancient artifact that is like Grogu's force powers on steroids, So now somebody can recognize that enough to say, dude, you need somebody to tell you how to control this a little bit. It's a little out of control. So maybe there's a scene there for Luke, because Luke's still alive in this timeline. Maybe there's a scene there for Ahsoka. Doesn't necessarily have to be Ahsoka, but it could be Luke. It could just be just a simple statement in a scene or something, because then you're going to have what's going to carry it. It's going to carry this adventure of them he's going to have to pay this debt, is what I think, because he just shows up with this new ship that's the exact same as the one that got destroyed. Please make that make sense. And I think they will, because that's so glaringly obvious. But it could be a cool part of the story that's how it starts in the story. He's got to pay a debt, and they start bumping into people. They're bumping into characters. They're bumping into places and things. Familiar planets, maybe an Ewok or two's in there. Who knows? So that's one big part of tonight's discussion. I'd definitely like to talk about with you guys. So keep that top of mind. Let me give you some other stuff here. We'll get into Maul, Shadow Lord a little bit. A little less speculation there because they're being pretty tight about this. So, what's officially known about the upcoming Maul Shadow Lord series? Obviously, animated series coming in 2026 as well, fully animated, similar to Clone Wars and The Bad Batch, but with a new, darker, and more intense animation style to reflect Maul's worldview. So, what does that mean? More lava? It's a set. This is set in a different time period too. It's after the final season of the Clone Wars, but during the reign of the Galactic Empire. So this would be before, well before the 30 years, I guess, before Din Djarin. Sam Witwer returns as Darth Maul. He also did the voice in Clone Wars, Rebels, and Solo. This is created for Disney Plus by Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm Animation. So the core premise follows Maul's attempt to rebuild his criminal syndicate, which, hello, should have been the sequel movies. Oh my God, after Solo. After losing power following Order 66 and the collapse of the Shadow Collective in a galaxy now dominated by the Empire. Lucasfilm has described the new show's animation as, quote, edgy, jagged, and dangerous, while visually capturing Maul's dark perspective. It begins roughly about a year after the Clone Wars ends. It takes place during the early years of the Empire, a period that hasn't been deeply explored in animated canon. And I just hit the wrong button and went all the way back to the beginning. Let me get back to it. Sorry. So Maul's arc, he survives the end of the Clone Wars thanks to his sheer hate and resourcefulness. He was rescued later by Savage Opress. In Shadow Lord, he returns from obscurity, plotting revenge, Kenobi, and attempting to rebuild criminal power structures outside Imperial control. Maul is the central figure, possibly the first major Star Wars production with a villain as the main protagonist rather than a traditional hero, which, how many of us have been wanting this? And they got to do it animated because they screwed their budgets up because they lost so much damn money, fucking us over with the Acolyte. A Marvel comic titled Star Wars Shadow of Maul will act as a prequel to the TV show, introducing new locations, the planet Janix, characters, and criminal conflicts that lead into the series. Maul has an apprentice, and there's some speculation around a comic tie-in that suggests Maul may train a new apprentice in the animated series. One possible candidate fans discuss is Darth Talon, a Twi'lek from Star Wars Legacy comics, though this remains unconfirmed. The narrative might delve deep into the Star Wars criminal underworld, weaving syndicates, lawless planets not yet absorbed into the Empire, and shadow hat politics, whatever that is. Marvel's prequel comic supports this angle. So while they say we're not going to take stuff from Legend, they're taking this from Legend. Rumors from fan discussions speculate, and I like to speculate, which there's not much, but people think that there will be characters from Clone Wars or Rebels like Ventress and other underworld figures. They might reappear or influence Maul's journey, but none of that's been confirmed. It could also lead to a longer story arc to make the series longer, where Maul would eventually become the Crimson Dawn leader, as seen at the end of Solo, which then would fill in the timeline from Clone Wars to Rebels, which I think would have been a great jumping off point to continue the Solo movies, Solo 2, or just start the Dark Trilogy. There's also people debating whether Maul could encounter Darth Vader or other Imperial forces, but no confirmation. Because if you're talking the comics, we know that he fought Vader in the comics. So the rise. So while this explores an underdeveloped era the rise of the Empire from Maul's perspective, a viewpoint rarely focused on. He's going to be pissed off at the Emperor the whole time in all of this. He's going to feel deserted and left. But it follows a fan favorite villain throughout his rise, fall, and possible reclamation of power. It connects to existing canon and builds directly on Clone Wars and Rebels continuity. It expands the criminal underworld storytelling, which I think will be fresh for us. It's not something we've seen a lot of, but it will be centered on Maul. So what we don't know is the exact episode count, the release date, or how they're going to structure the season. Is it going to be every week? Is it going to be 2 every other week? Is it going to be something like that? Is it going to be 3? Is it going to be 4 and done? We don't know yet. There's no news on major characters outside of Maul's immediate circle, but the rumor of him having an apprentice is pretty prevalent. Specific dramatic arcs like his eventual downfall or interactions with major Jedi or Sith like Vader remain to be seen, but I don't think that's important. We're just taking this little compressed piece of this whole big storyline and running with it for a little while. I don't think we need to worry about all that. Just do this stuff with him being just chaos, causing chaos, and doing his thing, So let me close those windows, and I'm going to throw this link up here. Was there a football game on tonight? Because we lost a bunch of people. All right, let's pin this to the top. If anybody wants to jump in, give me your feelings on Grogu, Mando movie, or Maul. And let's see some comments here. Kaz says, rumors and theories don't matter to me. I'm just hoping for a movie with a great script with lots of action. And as fans, we're due for one. Yes. And I've been saying for a long time, too, that it is time to get people back into theaters. 5 years ago, everybody was in the same place at home. So it was a great time to start a podcast. It was a great time to record music. It was a great time to do art. It was a great time to sell things online. It was a great time to start a YouTube channel and see immediate results without having to wait. It created this huge spur of impatient people, impatient creators. Let me tell you, you could be doing this for a couple times a week for 3 months and have 5, 6, 7, 1,100 subscribers, get monetized, and be just doing it like, off and running. Nowadays, I don't know if that's going to be like that. You have to be really special and have really tight production.
Hello, what have we here?
That's high production value right there. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But I don't know. I think it's cool that it's going to be in the theaters. And on one hand, I'm concerned with how it's going to tie into the whole franchise. And on another hand, I'm like, let's do something. Let's get us back in the theaters for something. And it's also better to have something for Disney Plus for us to watch too. Disney Plus completely flipped their modus operandi recently. They took $100 million out of Ahsoka's budget because they have that thing called the volume that they can, make their shows in. And I think the quality of that show is going to suffer because of it. So if it's not written top-notch 5-star rated writing, it's really going to suffer almost the same fate as Acolyte. Acolyte had some things that looked okay, but were written kind of choppy, hard to follow, didn't make a lot of sense. Plot holes were found right away. If Ahsoka's even the tiniest misstep like that, if we see one more Jack Black, if we see one more thing like that, they're done. they're done. But it's good to see Star Wars get back into theaters. I got to say that much. Is this the right way to go about it? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Let me open up this. I want to put this up. I don't know that that's what it should be called, unless it is really specifically about those two. And if that's the case, I don't know if that's enough. I don't know. I guess it just remains to be seen. Hopefully, they made enough fans from the show still that stuck around that are going to want to see this. So I really don't know. But going back to Kaz's comment, a great script, lots of action. As long as it's like that, just a barn burner from top to bottom, we'll be good. Plus, we have Starfighters coming out in 27, so maybe they'll have a buffer of content in the middle here for the year. Give us 3 nice projects for the year, maybe 2 shows, the movie in the theaters. We're going to get to 27. You're going to be celebrating 50 years of the original. You're going to be having out in LA. The convention's going to be in LA in 27. Then you're going to have Starfighter. So that's going to be 27 is going to be a great year. Black Star, what's up? 27 without a doubt is going to be a great year for Star Wars fans and content, and create some good opportunities for people to get together. So make no mistake, I think there's good things out there about all of this, but I also think, if they're not careful, there could be some missteps. We could get a surprise project that has Ewan McGregor in it. We don't know. I mean, you've got Hayden Christensen jumping all over in all these projects and stuff now. So who knows what we're going to get. Who knows? The shadow knows. Tell me where everybody's going, because my numbers keep going. The crowd is going. What are you watching? The Eagles play or something? What's going on? Monday Night Football? Am I missing? Oh, Monday Night Raw. Black Star, what is up? So Black Star, before you got here, I was discussing Mandalorian and Grogu and some of the rumors about that, and then we were discussing the Darth Maul series coming out, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing some stuff in the theaters, and I wish some of the story that we think we're gonna get with Darth Maul, I wish they would have done that live action after the events of the end of the Han Solo movie. And I think that was probably in the cards at one point or the other, but other people had better plans, better plans. Are they going to, it's out of focus enough. I bet they don't get me. They won't get me. Maybe. They've gotten me before. No, Kaz, I know you're still here, but the number of people in the chat, I got this little thing on the screen. It was like 14, and then it was like 4, and then it was 9, then it was 4, and then it was 10, and then it was 7. It just keeps, we're just bouncing up. Plus, I haven't been on in a while since I debuted the new channel, so I've been doing Whatnot streams. I'm over on Whatnot trading Star Wars cards and stuff like that, and Star Wars Lego and Star Wars action figures, Rosscon pickups and things like that over there. They're coming in and out like a buffet. Yeah. They can eat me. That's okay. I don't, it's cool, man. I don't necessarily have anything to sell, but I do think something I did not focus on well in my previous iteration of all this was branding, and definitely wasn't something I was doing consistently. So now you have Red 5 Cantina YouTube, Red 5 Cantina whatnot, Red 5 Cantina Instagram, Red 5 Cantina TikTok, but I don't think I do anything over there. I don't know. Instagram's like great for contacting people and staying in touch. Whatnot, it's live, so when I can share it over here, I've been doing that because I know there's people over here that don't know what it is, don't use the app. It's basically a live stream eBay, and now eBay's starting to do it because of them to get some people back. One of the guys out in the community, James, that had the Vintage Alliance, he now works for a company called Golden Collectibles, and that's Ken Golden. And there's a show on Netflix, The King of Collectibles, and Ken is a business partner with Peyton Manning. So Peyton Manning executive produces the show. He shows up on some episodes here and there. He actually likes to collect and find the values of his memorabilia, like jerseys, signatures, different things like that. So that has always been a component of what I've always wanted to do. So I just looking forward when I wanted to do this channel, I definitely wanted to get back into the part of the collecting where you're sort of helping people get things. It's not so much about making a few bucks. It's about like look at the guy, what's his name with the big collection? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. He's got like the multi-million-dollar collection of the original toys he's selling. His own way of putting it is, I think that other people should be able to experience and enjoy these things now. And that's how I feel about what I'm doing with the trading cards and all this different stuff. Do you like a price guide on Star Wars stuff and let's see the value? Do like a price guide on Star Wars stuff and let's see the value. What about Red 5 Cantina, the baby lotion? What's up, man? No, it's not baby lotion, it's baby oil. 10,000 bottles, sir. So I look at it like that. I like to, that's what I decided, many years ago to get back into collecting, and I collected what was out around the time of my son's birth as he grew up and got to know Star Wars. So I wasn't even focusing on vintage. I wasn't focusing on Hot Toys and Sideshow and different things like that. Years later, when I decided to, the market was exploding. It was crazy. So, the price of stuff that I look at things is just as much, if not more, than some of the new things coming out. So I can't, it's like, for me, it's like one or the other. I got to choose. Choose you must. So my collecting stays in the vintage world. And then I go over here on Whatnot, and it's like you can find anything you're looking for with that stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Steve Sansweet. So I knew about Steve Sansweet in the 90s because he worked for Lucasfilm. He was like their archivist, and then he became a collector, and then he started, the Obi-Wan, the museum. And he was in the news because he had on loan 2 rocket firing Boba Fett's, and one of the guys, because all the people that work for him, they donate their time and they help him curate and get it all set up. And one of those rocket firing Boba Fett's disappeared one year. And dude working for him tried to go sell this thing for like something stupid. Like, this is years ago, like $1,200 or $12,000 or something dumb. Nowhere near the market value. And somebody bought it, and they kind of knew that, there's no, it's got authentication. There's no way it's this cheap. I'm going to buy it. But then he told them. It was like this big sting, and the dude got in a lot of trouble. And Steve has written books on collecting. I think he's got the silver color book. I forget the name of it. I've got it over here on the table with my Kenner book and stuff. That to me is one of the best guides for the newer, like Power of the Force and different collectibles like that. And he prefers Power of the Force because he said when they went back to make the molds for those, a lot of the original Kenner molds were trash. So they actually went back to the movie prop stuff and made more closer to the films. Now, you didn't get the electronics and things in a lot of the Power of the Force. So you're missing out, but it displays better, displays or just as well. But that's his quote on that stuff. But I think he's written maybe 5 books. And I consider every one of them worth every penny. I would love to go out to Rancho Obi-Wan. Now I remember. I would love to go out there. It's like 80 or 90 bucks a ticket, if I'm not mistaken, and you schedule it. And if it's not him, he's got a couple different people that'll go through it with you, but you're there for like 6 hours. There's so much stuff. Then there's a husband and wife. I believe they're in Washington State, and they added on to their house, and they built they got the cantina from one of the movies, and they flew it into the side of the house and rebuilt the house around it. And the guy collects like every line of action figure, everything that comes out, as many pieces as he can get his hands on. He's got movie props and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then, of course, we know Mr. Hawes, Dark Side Pizza. He just put Star Killer. He just put a video up today. Did you guys see it? He got the Mandalorian. He got the DeLorean. They're gonna build a Back to the Future car and put it in this damn restaurant. I don't have that kind of budget. I blew my budget making this dude right here. And now he's standing stalking me. I got this dude last year, but I never got the R2 this year. My local shop's got one, and the guy that gave it to him as a gift has another one right now. And he said $500 takes it. And I'm just like, I don't need to give you $500. That thing's going to be for sale again soon. And I'll get it for $3. I will get it for $3. So anyway, if anything, with this being the end of the year, look back on the year, it's given me plenty to say. I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to getting in a theater again and seeing Star Wars in a theater. I get excited about that because I got to see the original trilogy movies in the theater, and that's what started it for me. So any of these movies, when they've come out, the prequels, the sequels, I don't care. The character movies, you tell me there's Star Wars in a theater. I love the sensation of being around other fans with the popcorn, people cheering, booing, laughing, shouting. It's just fun, man. It's just fun. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is experiencing that. So if they want to do 2 movies a year, go do 2 movies a year. Or, you know what I mean? Because look, do you really think Mando Grogu are going to be longer than a year from Starfighter? It's probably going to be within a 12-month window, just 2 different calendar years. Just do 2 of them in a year then. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? What was the drinks that J-Rock had? The orange Surza orange. Trailer Park Boys. So yeah, that's my year in review. I have a new video that's going to be out, if not tomorrow, maybe the 31st, maybe the 1st. My narrated sort of slideshow videos have done better than my face videos, if that makes sense. And then I did the thing where I made a 14-minute video talking about these budget cuts and things. And I took a short out of that, and the short got 1,200 views, but the video only got like 70. So I'm like, do I just make shorts? I don't know. I don't know. Going back into this, you just gotta think consistency and what works for your life balance, you know? Um, at the end of the day, everything I'm trying to do is just Star Wars and you guys and me and us and just having a party, you know. Have 2 demos I gotta do tomorrow, so getting things set up for them. $30 an hour showing off X Tool things I spent thousands on. So basically, I'm a hooker. Hey, you gotta sell that ass, dude. You gotta sell that ass. I went almost 6 months without selling anything from my lasers. That sucked. And then I went on the freaking craziest run. Here's another high for 2025. I went on such a crazy run with 3D printing. I was able to buy a new printer, and within 2 months, I was able to get another printer from the things I was making and selling, and then it completely nosedived, and it's quiet, but the stuff's paid for. Then, um, you know, doing the whatnot stuff, everything was going good for like 3 weeks. I got back into it, and then I had like a week, almost 2 weeks where nothing happened, 0. And then last night, early in the evening before I went to work, I was running an auction and I had this new card box, hobby box that was still sealed. I literally had my finger over the phone about to end the auction, the sale, and some dude went in on 1 pack of that. So I opened it. Next guy comes in, sees me opening that, says, "I'll take 5." Then the next guy 4, another guy 6. Next thing I know, I sold out. So while that happened in this little compressed amount of time, hopefully that's how the year is for you after this. You just got to ride it out and just keep pushing, keep trying things. I stopped making inventory. I have so much stuff sitting that hasn't moved, and it's frustrating. But once in a while, you have somebody give you a hit, give you a custom order, and next thing you know, I had to actually turn business away at one point this year, which is not a bad problem to have. Then, you fall away from your collecting and all your other things. So that's how it goes, right? I would say my year is coming to a close on a much better note than what it started on. 3 days into the year, I get the phone call at 5 in the morning that my dad passed away. I'm not gonna speak ill of anybody, but we as adults did not have a great relationship. I think there was probably hope that it could be fixed and repaired, and then somebody's gone, and then what are you going to do, right? So people say, "Oh, well, go to the people that are left and still try to make the most of it." And at the same time, you still have to live your life and do things for your own sanity. So, in regards to that, I say self perseverance, and when you start to notice people mistaking your kindness for weakness, maybe it's not them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that a few times here and there over the last year. You help people, you don't get respect in return, so you can't blame them. Were you trying to buy their respect? Were you trying to like think because you did a favor you're going to get it? Whatever. So there's been ups and downs with relationships and things like that with people and so-called friends and real friends and um yeah, Gap. I think Gap, you especially are like me, that you give in kind to what you receive, right? So like if somebody's giving you friendship and good vibes and um having some laughs with you, you're going to be a little more open and give that to them in return. And sometimes people don't want to open themselves up. So my thing looking forward is just play things a little closer to the chest. I was trying so many things before and it was really wearing people out, and it got me in the situation I was in with my social media stuff. the year I was having, I couldn't give a shit. So yeah, dude, we're just gonna keep on keeping on, and I'm just trying to take this very slow. That's why, I started in November and you didn't get another stream till tonight. I'm taking it very slow. I'm being methodical. I'm trying to be more thoughtful with my time, more thoughtful with my family and their time. My family is growing. Um, so there's all these things. Everybody has it. I'm no more different, no more special than anybody else. I just choose to be a little more open here. I could be very cut and dry and just go, hey, this is the latest controller from PlayStation, and then never talk about me. But I feel like talking about me leads you to all of this, which is what you like to, and that's why we're here. You know what I'm saying? I am pregnant, bro. I've gained like 50 fucking pounds in the last 10 years. God, I feel pregnant. So I'm going to bed early tonight because I've been up for like 20 some hours. I don't know what it is. Because I was a dumbass that took the call last night, and we had like a 70-degree change in weather. It went from 61 yesterday to the teens this morning, and 50-mile-an-hour winds coming off the lake at work. And I had to, and I had to drive a plow truck and some other stuff because it was crazy. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you guys coming in. I want to talk about the lore. I want to talk about the shows, the characters, the movies more, the theories. I think it gets everything going. I could show you 100 toys and 100 pickups. And I'll still do some of that here and there. But yeah, dude, it was 61 and it went to like 12, and then it was like a negative wind chill. So it was like a 70-degree swing in temperature overnight. It was crazy. Gave me a fucking headache. So yeah, dude, like I want to keep that in the top of my mind after this year. Give as much as I get. Yeah, for sure. I love to give. I mean, there's guys that like with the giveaways and stuff we've done, I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that again. What was I going to say? So, I guess what I was saying was we didn't have anybody jump on tonight. That's fine. I'm getting ready to end it. That's cool. But when we do the Discord, we'll jump in those and we'll all be hanging out watching shows together. You don't have to be on camera. It's just you'll have the mic and you can talk about a part of the movie you like or whatever. So I think Duffman told me one time, he's like, man, if you keep doing this, I'm going to cancel my Disney Plus. So yeah, I'm out of here myself. And we have a special video now for the end of the show. So let's run that and I'll see you guys next time. May the force be with you. We'll see you guys next year. Ha, ha, ha.